Om 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 Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Boliye Shri Sadgurunath Maharaj Ki Jai. Samasta Jana Kalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidwaram Sadgurum Brahma Vidwaram Om Shri Chinmaya Sadgurave Namaha. Hari Om. In the second session of the Great Vision of Vedanta, we are going to see another text on the Sadhana Sopanam. Sadhana Sopanam means the steps to sadhana. The text is written by Pujya Guruji Swami Tejomayananda Ji. It is called Dhyanaswarupam. It's a very small text. It's a very short text, simple number of less number of verses only. I think there are just 10 verses, but it gives the essence of what is meditation. And we have a lot of information on the internet. We know ourselves a little bit what is meditation because we have heard about it, and many of us may have practiced it. But this text is a very authentic, brief explanation of what exactly is meditation, what is the true nature of meditation, and it does not speak about the techniques of meditation. The techniques of, once we know what is meditation, then we can have our own techniques and our own methods, or we can follow what methods others give us also with the right understanding. And so this was one book, again, that one composition which Guruji says he wrote it, and then he showed it to Gurudev Swami Chinmayananda, who read it, he liked it, and he also blessed it. So it is a very beautiful text. What is meditation? And it begins with the first verse itself. It begins very clearly about meditation. We'll just go through the verses. Dhyanam nama swarupasya sahajam bhanamuchyate naitat karma vishesham va sagunopasanam japaha. So nowadays, actually on the media or even in many platforms, people say whatever you do is meditation. You sit quietly for some time and watch your breath, it is meditation. You do puja, it is meditation. You play cricket, it is meditation. You can live life meditative. So many, a lot of confusing signals and confusing messages we get about what is meditation. Guruji here says, Dhyanam Nama. Dhyanam means, the word Dhyanam means Swarupasya Sahajam Bhanam Uchyate. We have an original nature to us, and that nature is common to all of us. All human beings, all living beings have something about them which sets them apart from all the inert objects, the living beings. But the human being is a little bit different, because all living beings, they are quiet, or by nature they are there living, breathing like all of us, but they don't know, they don't have the capacity for thought which is there in human beings, on this planet earth I'm talking about. So what is dhyanam? say for example, a lion or a tiger, they don't have the choice of having different different vasanas. If a tiger can eat only flesh, it will only hunt and eat flesh. It will not eat grass. A lion also. In the same way, a cow, one day it cannot decide to be a non-vegetarian. It has to be what it is already being doing so far. But only the human being has got the capacity to make choices of what he wants to eat, what he wants to drink, where he wants to go, with whom he wants to talk, all that. And only this human being can think beyond what he is actually seeing, hearing, tasting, smelling, and touching. The sense of perception and the ability to know, the ability to search for the truth, the ability, the tigers and lions don't go to schools, they don't study. Human being has got that faculty by which he can study and know something. So here the inquiry is about who is that person who is trying to know all this. So the, as I've already said in Manashodhanam, standing behind the telescope or standing behind the microscope, you can see only the objects placed under the microscope or the objects which the telescope is directed towards. You cannot look at the seer. Here the attempt is to look at the seer, and what is it? The task of meditation is to realize who the seer is. Dhyanam nama. Dhyanam means Swarupasya sahajam bhanam. I have a swarupa. You have a swarupa. There, it is called consciousness. Consciousness means I am aware. I know what it is. I know. I am conscious of my surroundings. I am conscious of. I am conscious of what is happening right now. I am conscious of how I feel. I am conscious of what I think. I am conscious of what I see, what I taste, what I smell, what I touch, what I experience within. So that consciousness, sahajam bhanam, when that consciousness is by itself, it is there. You are aware of it. Like the eyes, you can see the eyes in the mirror. You cannot see your own eyes. What you're seeing in the mirror is only the reflection of your eyes. The reflection of the light falling on your face, which is reflected in the mirror, and that we are seeing. We are not actually seeing the eyes. But can we know that we have eyes? Yes, it is possible to know. In the same way, I cannot see myself because it is not an object for my perception. I can see a mobile phone, I can see the laptop, I can see the lamp, I can see the flower beneath, I can see the image, I can see everything around me, I can see people, I can hear people, because they're all outside of me, they're objects. But I cannot see myself. I cannot see the one who is seeing. Like the telescope example, if the person behind the telescope wants to see himself and he goes around and goes to the other side of the lens of the telescope and puts his face there, only somebody else will be able to see him. He will not be able to see himself. Like you take a torchlight, and if the torchlight wants to see itself, the torchlight is shining because of the batteries. So just imagine battery is the self. The battery, everybody is saying the torchlight is so bright, the torchlight is so good, and it is burning bright because of the battery. And the battery says, now what is this? Everybody is talking about this torchlight and it is good. I'm not able to see what it is. I want to see in what way I am very powerful, that I am making this torch shine. And the battery is removed. And the battery wants to see itself outside of the torch. It is not possible. The torch will not burn bright if the battery is removed. In the same way, there is something called the self within, and that self shines by itself. It is a self starter. It is not ignited by anything else. It is not activated by anything else. It is not triggered by anything else, but it is there always. Dhyanam nama. So what is meditation? Swarupasya, my own nature, which is consciousness. Sahajam bhanam. Sahajam means it is there. That consciousness is revealing itself all the time. How do we know the consciousness is revealing? If I have a thought, I'm able to see that I have a thought. If I have a feeling, I'm able to experience that feeling. If I have an emotion, I'm able to experience that emotion. If I have a sensation in the body, I am able to experience that sensation. Who is that I who is able to feel the thought, able to feel the emotion, who is able to feel the sensation, and who is able to feel the movement, who is able to feel hunger, who is able to feel thirst, who is able to feel the presence of something, who is able to feel the growing, who is able to feel the tasting, who is able to feel the seeing, the tasting, the smelling, the touching, the talking, the walking, everything we're able to feel. Who is that person? You are saying, I'm able to feel my legs walking. So that means I is different and the legs walking is different, right? It is not the same thing. I am able to see my car, means I am different, the car is different. I am able to see my house. I am different, the house is different. In the same way, I am able to see my emotion, which means I am different, the emotion is different. So who is that I who is able to see everything, hear everything, taste everything, smell everything, touch everything, feel everything from within? That I is the self. What is dhyanam? That I is always revealing itself by itself, and dhyanam is swarupasya sahajam bhanam, allowing the self to be and just experiencing that I am that person who is meditating. Naitat karma vishesham va. It is not about doing any work. Dhyanam is like I am applying all my concentration on some work. We can, there is nothing, no harm in calling it meditation. But in the Yoga Sutras also, meditation is ekatattva ananya, only one thought. Going on meditating on that thought is only dhyana. When you're concentrating on something, it is called dharana. It is not dhyana. So, naitat karma vishesham va. Na etat karma vishesham. This dhyana is not about doing anything. It is just about being who I am and experiencing that being, that presence within. Naitat karma vishesham va. It is not also upasana, saguna upasana. Saguna upasana means like upasana of some devata. Like I worship Shiva, I worship Vishnu, I do puja, I look at the form of Bhagavan Vishnu and meditate upon that form of Vishnu. I meditate upon that form of Shiva. It is good. It is a good practice. It quietens the mind. It brings that mind to a state of quietude, and it prepares the mind for meditation. All this, but it is not meditation by itself. Saguna upasanam. Upasana means sitting close to something. Asana means seat. Upa means samipe. Sitting close to something is saguna upasanam. It is not also japa. Japa gives me power. A repetition of a name constantly gives tremendous concentration. For example, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namo Narayanaya, Om Namo Narayanaya, Om Namo Narayanaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. It is called japa. Repetition of something helps to quieten the mind, helps to absorb the mind, helps the mind to become steady. But it is not dhyanam. So dhyanam, what is dhyanam? Dhyanam nama swarupasya sahajam bhanam uchyate. The natural expression of the swarupa, of our true nature, which is consciousness. So what is an action, and why is meditation not an action? If we are able to know this difference between action and meditation, we will not confuse action with meditation. Karmotpannam phalam drishtam nashwaram bhinnamaatmanaha nityopalabdhasvatmahi swarupam dhyatureva saha. Karma utpannam phalam, the result of action. When I do some action, its result is seen by me. Phalam, drishtam, it is evident. Karma phalam means if I do some action, I feel something within me. So that is the result of the action which I've done, and I'm able to experience this feeling within me. I am there, and the feeling is there, and I experience this feeling. Karma utpannam phalam drishtam nashwaram. That feeling comes, the feeling goes. The result comes, the result goes. Long ago, I wrote an exam, UGC JRF, NET exam, and I cleared that paper. I was very, very delighted, very, very happy. It was many years ago, 1992, in the month of April or whatever. I cleared the exam, and after 2 months in the employment news, you buy the newspaper and you see, you will be able to see the results of that examination. And I found that I had passed the examination, and I was very happy. But that was 30 years ago, and now that result of passing the exam is not there. Karmotpannam phalam drishtam nashwaram. Nashwaram means it goes away. It is there and then it goes away. Bhinnam atmanaha. That the result of that karma and the karma are different from the self, who the person who is doing the karma. Karmotpannam phalam drishtam nashwaram bhinnam atmanaha. It is different from me. Nitya upalabdhaha. But the atma is not something that is born. It is not something that gets destroyed. It is nitya upalabdha. It is always attainable. It is always achieved. It is always there. I don't need to seek it. I don't need to find it. It will not go away from me. I will not drop it or lose it somewhere. Nitya upalabdhaha swatmahi, swaatma, my own self. Where is my own self? It is always attained. It is there with me. Swarupam, who is the dhyatuhu eva swarupam. The nature of the meditator is that atma, the self. It is the nature of the meditator itself. It is my own nature. It is my own quality. It never leaves me and it never goes away. It is not born at any point of time. It does not die at any point of time. It is always there. Dhyatuhu swarupam. So any objects, when we do any action, there are 4 results that we get from the action. One is utpadyam. Something can be produced. We create produce, agricultural produce, industrial produce. We do something and something is produced. Creating produce. A pot is made, a picture is painted, an article is written, a computer coding is done. All this is creating produce. Utpadyam. Then we have vikaryam. We can modify something. If a window is dirty, I take a brush and I take a cloth and I take some soap and I take some water and I clean it, the window will become clean. So vikaryam. It can be modified from dirty to clean or clean to dirty. Whatever it is, it can be done. It can be altered. A dress can be altered. There is a house which is very unkempt can be kept neat and clean. Hair which is very untidy can be combed and you can bring about a change. Vikaryam. Then you have samskaryam. You can purify something. Like samskaras are there. Shodasha samskaras. When the baby is born, there is jatakaranam. The birth samskaras are there. Cutting of the umbilical cord and then taking the baby out and giving the baby a bath is a birth samskara. And then cutting a little bit of the tuft of hair behind is a chaulam. It's a samskara. Then naming the baby is giving a samskara to the baby, meaning an impression is created. A purification or refinement is done from the original. When you refine something, for example, when you have flowers, you take those flowers and you arrange it into a nice bouquet, it becomes a samskara. It is a beautiful action that happens and it gives joy, samskara. Then you have apyam. I am in Chennai and I want to go to Delhi. I take a flight, or I go by road, or I go by rail, and I reach Delhi. So I have reached Delhi. That is apyam. These four things are there, but the Atma is not attained either by Utpadyam. The Atma is not created. The self or I is not created. When the baby starts, the baby is born, the I is silent. But around 2 years, I want this, I want that, the baby starts talking. Did that I come only when the baby was 2 years old? No, it was there along with the baby. But it started expressing, I want this, give me that, it is mine. It all I plus mine. Everything belongs to the I. The baby said, I will wear my own dress. Many babies, if you see, 2 years and 3 years, they know how to wear their own clothes, They will not allow anybody to put it for them. I will wear it. I will wear it. Where is that I coming from? Has it been created in 2 years? After the second birthday, the I was born? No. Utpadyam. It is not born at any point of time. Can this I be changed? Is the I that I said when I was 2 years old, I don't want this food, I told. In 20 years, I don't want to go for this movie, I said that. In 40 years, I don't like this food, I told that. And in 60 years, I might be saying, I don't want to be here, I don't want to do that, or whatever we may be saying. The I is the same, it does not change. Na vikaryam. Then samskaryam. Is the I very sloppy or very sluggish, and the little bit I give a motivation, little bit I give, it is called a self-development or self-motivation and all that. I give motivation, then the I becomes more motivated or less motivated? No. Samskaryam cannot be done on the I, the self. Apyam. Is the I something to be reached? It is not there. I have to go and I have to strive very hard and I have to realize myself and I have to climb a ladder and I have to do so much of sadhana, and then one day finally I will reach my I, the self. If the I can be reached like that? No, it is already there. We don't need to do anything. That I is only talking. That I is only listening. We don't need to produce the I. We don't need to strive towards the I. We just have to know the I. Just like the eyes are here, we don't need to produce the eyes and keep them. We don't need to create the eyes. We just have to know that the eyes are there. In the same way, I, this letter I, which refers to I, me, it is already there. What is the difference between upasanam and dhyanam? Upasana is nikrishta vastuni drishtihi hi utkrishta tadupasanam dhyanam vilakshanam tasmat yathartha jnana rupataha. Upasana, or coming close to some thought, coming close to some feeling, coming close to some emotion, coming close to some deity and the qualities of that deity. Nikrishta vastuni drishtihi. He utkrishta. There is an object. That object can be a stone. It is a nikrishta vastu, no doubt. We are all having so many talks and discussions about, is our God real? He is after all a stone. Somebody will say. Somebody says, no, this is not a stone. This is God. But here, with a lot of clarity, we have to understand what is the right meaning of this. Nikrishta vastuni. It can be made of wood. Then the wood which is being made into Krishna, Balarama and Subhadra is placed in the Jagannath temple and becomes a very, very, very holy object of worship at Puri Jagannath temple. The object is only wood, but when it is created in such a manner, it is given that shape, it is given that form, it is given that place of respect, it is put on a pedestal, and daily some action of words and offerings are being given, and every day people are coming and pouring out their heart in front of that Subhadra and Krishna and Balarama. That object, Nikrishta Vastu of wood, becomes Utkrishta Vastu of Bhagavan Shri Krishna. In the same way, Shiva also, an idol, which is a rock, which is a granite that is carved out of some mountain and it is brought from somewhere. It is placed in a big temple like Brihadeshwara. Before the temple came, where was that idol? Or where was that Nandi of Brihadeshwara? That big Nandi, it was a rock somewhere. It was an ordinary thing. It was an ordinary mountain rock, granite rock somewhere. That rock was cut out. It was bought. The Shilpi has worked on it and created that beautiful Shivalinga and created that beautiful Nandi. And that beautiful Nandi and the beautiful Shivalinga were brought by the king and all the people, consecrated, placed there. And then the Kumbhabhishekam was done. The eye-opening ceremony was done. And everybody started worshipping that linga as Brihadishwara, and that Nandi, that stone, which was originally a stone, was brought there and installed and worshipped and consecrated, and it is called worshipped as Nandi. So there is nothing wrong. All these are methods of aiding our mind, quietening our mind, and developing devotion in us. There is no doubt about it. But this is bhakti. The earlier one is karma. Karma is not meditation. In the same way, upasana or bhakti, devotion, cultivating the love for the Lord is a very good thing. We have to do it. In fact, it aids our meditation. There's no doubt about it. But nikrishta vastuni drishtihi hi utkrishta tad upasanam. What is upasana or devotion? Is taking an ordinary object and giving value to it with our love and with our respect and with our prayer and with our meditations, with our contemplations. We give value to that, and the object becomes an object of value, being worshipped by crores and crores and crores of people through centuries together. That is called upasana. Dhyanam vilakshanam tasmat. Dhyanam is a little bit different from upasana. What is dhyanam? Yathartha jnana rupataha. There is no worshipping there. Myself. We of course we do have mantras for helping to worship the self, but that is also an action like Mula Shringantakat Sushamna Pathena Jiva Shivam Parama Shiva Pade Yojayami Swaham. Then you have Hridambuje Pankajamashtabhatram Sakesaram Karnika Madhyanalam Angushtamatram Munayo Vadanti Dhyayetsa Vishnum Purusham Puranam Hridaya Kamala Madhye Surya Bimbasanastham Sakala Bhuvana Bijam Srishti Samhara Hetum Niratishaya Sukhatma Jyotisham Hamsarupam Parama Purusha Madhyam Chintayet Atma Murtim Aradhayami Mani Sannibhamatma Lingam Maya Hridi Hridaya Pankaja Sannivishtam Shraddhana Devi Malachitta Jalabhishekaihi Nityam Samadhi Kusumairna Punarbhavaya Deho Devalaya Prokto Jivo Devas Sanatanaha Tyajeda Nirmalyam Soham Bhavena Pujayet Om Ammatmane Namaha Om Ammatmane Namaha Om Ammatmane Namaha Om Mantaratmane Namaha Om Mantaratmane Namaha Om Mantaratmane Namaha Om Hrim Jnanatmane Namaha Om Hrim Jnanatmane Namaha Om Hrim Jnanatmane Namaha Om Mam Jivatmane Namaha Om Mam Jivatmane Namaha Om Mam Jivatmane Namaha Om Vam Paramatmane Namaha Om Vam Paramatmane Namaha Om Vam Paramatmane Namaha. Pushpai Pujayami. This is Atma Puja. It is there. But still that is Upasana only. Because when we say Atma, we are understanding it as a body. It has got some place here. We do puja. We are meditating upon it. But what is Dhyanam? Yathartha Jnana Rupataha. There is no puja. There is no offering. There is no chanting. There is no nothing. Just sitting, and as I am sitting and I observe, yes, I am able to see that I have a thought, and there is somebody, there is some light of consciousness. It is not a person, it is not a physical person. There is some light of consciousness that is there, which is observing the thought and giving the feedback to me. Yes, there is a thought. So that is Atma. Jnana, Yathartha Jnana Rupataha. Yathartha means Yathartham, as it is. There is no modification to the self. It does not become something else, or it does not become great, or it does not become less, or it does not become fat, or it does not become thin, or it does not become wide, or it does not become tall, it does not become short, it does not become massive, it does not become minuscule, nothing. It is just there. So the fourth verse, what is japa then? How is japa and dhyana different? मन्त्रैकस्यावर्तनं वै जपो वाक्कर्म ह्युच्यते स्वरूपावस्थितिर्ध्यानं नैतद् आवृत्तिरूपकम्. Beautiful. Mantra ekasya avartanam. Mantra ekasya. In my neighbor's house here, they are having, some people have this fancy for this recording message, no? Like, of course, it gives me the feeling of Vaikuntha, but still it is a sound of a machine. You have this automatic mantra chanters. So full day, if I leave it silent, you will be able to hear it. Om Namo Narayanaya. So the mantra is put on that machine, and everybody else talks whatever they want in the house and scolds each other like anyway. Every year once, maybe everybody will become very holy, going to Shabarimala and doing pujas. But the rest of the time, all kinds of nonsense words will be spoken. But the chanting mantra meter is going on. I think it is for my sake. I cannot say whether it is good. It is Bhagavan's nama, so it is. I'm getting the opportunity of blessing of listening to it. But when guests come to my house, they are saying, "What is this?" Throughout the night, throughout the day, it is running. It should be put only for 1 hour in the morning and 1 hour evening. You should be there available and listen to it, not allow the machine to chant. The machine only will get punya, the machine will get moksha, nothing will happen to us. Mantra ekasya avartanam vai japo vak karma hyuchyate. Taking up a mantra and going on repeating that mantra again and again is called japa. Janmana pati iti japaha. Japa is one, repeating that name, ekaha shabdaha sushtu prayuktaha. Ihaloke, paraloke, it becomes one sound if you take, and you go on paying attention to that one sound. Eka tattva abhyasaha, eka shabdaha, sushtu prayuktaha. Mantra ekasya avartanam. Avartanam is again and again. For example, in Sankeetam, for example, Shri Gananatha Sildura Varna Karuna Sagara Karivadana Lambodara Lakumikara Ambasuta Amaravinuta Lambodara Lakomikara. It is called Avartanam. One tala like this. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4 is an Avartanam. Avartanam means repetition. Mantra ekasya avartanam. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shiva. Now Shivaratri is going to come. Everywhere people do this avartanam of Namah Shivaya mantra. Om Namah Shiva Japaha Vak Karma Uchate. It is a good action. It is a very good action. It gives goodness to one person, it would give goodness to others also. Vak Karma Uchate. Swarupa Avasthitihi Dhyanam. But what is Dhyanam? Dhyanam is being in this way. It is not doing something. It is not expressing something. But it is just being in my own nature, in my own self. Rested, quiet. No thought, no emotion, no feeling, no words, no descriptions, no desires, no likes, no dislikes, no experiences of some sensations or the other, hunger, thirst, no experience of the sense of touch, seeing, hearing, tasting, smelling, touching, nothing else. Only my own self. All alone, alone, all alone, to the alone. That is meditation. Swarupa avasthitihi. Not even reaching, avasthitihi. Completely being with my own self. Na etad avritti rupakam. It is not a repetition of anything. Now I am going to be with myself. Now I prepare to be, I keep my hand in Chin Mudra. I keep this hand in Chin Mudra. I keep my spine erect. I keep my shoulders relaxed. I lift my chin up. I close my eyes. I keep a smile on my face. And now I am reaching myself. No. Even before you erect the spine, even before you keep the mudras, even before you close the eyes, even before you bring that smile and give a nice pose for meditation, the self is already there. So actually, it's a very what to say. The self knowledge is a very interesting thing. We think we are going to do something. We are doing very something very great by doing all the sadhanas for self realization, and finally, when you come to the point that you want to realize the self, and you meet a guru or you meet a master or you listen to the Upanishads, they will say, leave all your action, leave all the drama behind. There is nothing to do, nowhere to go. You just have to know that you are the self. Okay, and then what else to do after that? Begin your the other work in that knowledge, in that realization. That's all. There's nothing special to it. It does not give us put us on an edge over somebody else. It does not make us anything more special than somebody else, because everybody is that self only that you are searching and you are looking. So there is nothing exclusive about it. There is nothing inclusive about it also. There is nothing great about it. There is nothing ordinary about it. But knowing that gives you the ultimate joy, after which you don't have to go behind anything, know anything, find something in this world. Nothing is required. You just know who you are and you are being with it. The remaining verses we will see tomorrow. Om Sarvesham Swastir Bhavatu, Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu, Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu, Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu, Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah, Sarve Santu Niramayah, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, Ma Kaschid Dukkha Bhag Bhavet, Om Asatoma Sadgamaya, Tamasorma Jyotirgamaya, Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya, Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate, Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Boli Shri Sadgurunath Maharaj ki Jai. Har Namah Parvati Pataye. Har Har Mahadeva. Hari Om.